For USCFootball.com, I'm Keely Eure here with Dan Weber for instant analysis of USC's Wednesday practice of Arizona week. I thought it was another good competitive practice from USC. No full pads, but still they kept the competitiveness up, and Clay Helton said that today was an emphasis on third downs and keeping edge containing. That's something that you're going to need when you face an Arizona offense and a quarterback like Khalil Tate.
I think the thing I liked a lot today was they know they've got to play fast against Arizona, that Arizona's got the quickest tempo of anybody they play. So I think that gets you going in a practice. I think they, you might not have all, like team run yesterday I thought was real good. Today, it's kind of guys standing around, they're not in full pads, so it's guys kind of standing around pushing one another. But I thought the rest of the practice, they emphasized quick feet and just quick recognition, quick movement. I think that clearly is the way they got to go this week. All we can do is hope Arizona's not maybe half as good as the coaches say they are, because they've made Arizona out to be and they do have Khalil Tate, with or without the ankle injury, has done some good things, throws the deep ball better. They've wanted him to do that. Whether his ankle will be back and allow him to be that explosive guy and actually run the ball and keep the ball in the option. And they've got a tailback, J.J. Taylor from Corona, who had 287 yards, I guess, last week at Oregon State. And I thought Arizona handled that well, where they couldn't run Khalil Tate. And so they went to the couple of things they could do and did it well. So I think the biggest challenge this week is winning on the road. Getting that sense of, we're in control here. We're better than these guys. We're not going to let them, take the game over. This game belongs to us. Whether they can do that, are they there yet? I don't know. I mean, they weren't there really Friday night. They were just barely there, and that was a home game. So I think that's the big challenge for this team. And Clay's talked about, you start getting ready on Thursday. They've been talking about it already, getting the mental focus right and all that. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, to your point about what the coaches have said about Arizona, is this a USC team that almost needs to have a team build up in their mind so that they come out with a certain level of intensity when they come out to play? I know Michael Pittman said yesterday that after the first drive, when they scored so easily, they almost got a little complacent.
Yeah, you would like this USC team to not matter who they're playing. The fact that they're on the road, you'd like them to really look forward to that and to enjoy that opportunity. But I would like this team to be able to just focus on themselves. Who are we? What do we do? How do we win football games? Doesn't matter if it's home or on the road. We're going to get it together. I think too much time is spent looking at the other guy and figuring out how you can counter what he's doing, as opposed to, here's what we do. We do it really well. We're going to be physical. We're not going to let you stop us. And the problem of adjusting in this game is going to be your problem, not our problem. We're going to make you adjust to us. That's just me.
Yeah. The interesting development that happened in practice today was that Elijah Griffin, the true freshman cornerback, got first-team reps, so that's something to look out for. We both talked to Elijah today, and Elijah told me that he was not expecting that. That was a curveball that the coaches threw at him, so that's something that could potentially develop against Arizona.
Yeah, he's not intimidated by it or overcome by the momentousness of whatever. Practice ended today on an Elijah Griffin interception, which is a big topic of conversation now because USC has defended the most passes in the country, 29, batted down, knocked down, touched, whatever, deflected, and without a single interception. And so they're basically tied for last in the nation in interceptions. And Alabama, for example, the number 2 team with deflections of 28, has also 7 interceptions. So the ability to finish those plays, when you talk to Elijah about it, he said 2 of those were mine. I should have had them. I should have had interceptions. I didn't. He said, we've got to figure out, how to finish those plays. And it was interesting. I said, well, how would you do that? And he said, well, get on the jugs gun more. And I looked over, and there wasn't anybody on the jugs gun. So just a little footnote.
Yeah. Another stat that's interesting, USC led the nation in sacks last year, but that isn't the case this year. And you got to talk to defensive line coach Kenichi Udeze, and he seems still positive about the group that he's coaching.
Yeah, and he had an interesting personal anecdote that I had forgotten. He led the nation in sacks his senior year, and yet he didn't get his first sack till the fourth game. So his thinking is, it comes in bunches. You can't get discouraged. Washington State was really good. A lot of times they were just rushing 3 against 5 or 6, maybe 4, and they thought they might be able to get there with a 4-man rush and Washington State get the ball out really quick. He said, we just can't let ourselves be discouraged, but we're doing the right things. Maybe not everybody on every play, but we got to just stay after it. So he's more upbeat than I might have thought he would be after the Washington State game. So, but he's just convinced it's just about to happen for the USC. But he did mention, and this is where you wonder when you hear a coach talking, the player he mentioned most in our discussion, Uchenna Nwosu. He's not here anymore. And so when they are talking about the guy who left, then you know, fill that in. I don't know, but he misses Uchenna.
Well, here's the thing. The question I have about the criticism for the defensive line, as far as Marlon Tuipulotu, Brandon Peely, and Jay Tufele, those are 3 guys combined who played a year of football together. This is an inexperienced group. Is there too much expectation on a young group like that? I
don't think so. I think they're athletic enough, they're talented enough, they're big enough, they're strong enough. I think a lot of that is just technique and wanting to, and and there's just something. It certainly wasn't there Friday night. What it is, I don't know. I mean, Washington State was really well schooled, and they do what they do so well that USC didn't figure out something for somebody to get close. I kind of disappointed. I didn't get any sense from Kenichi that it's any one thing, any one guy. And not, an answer that says we're going to get it done this week or we're going to whatever. They're just going to keep working on it, and we'll see how it goes. But I did think it was interesting that his first sack his senior year didn't come to his 4th game. He led the nation. So, yeah, see.
Interesting indeed. We kind of touched on it already, but how do you contain a guy like Khalil Tate? I know Clay Helton was asked about it, and he said that he's not as mobile as we've seen, partially due to scheme, but also because of that ankle injury that's been nagging him. How would you think that this USC defense approaches that?
They got to be disciplined. They got to stay in their lanes. They can't just, everybody go to one side, or they can't open up big seams as much as you want to get to him, or as much as you want to, push him off his spots. And so I don't know, in terms of will it be contained first and disciplined first and get to him later? I think it's going to be to try to make him uncomfortable. I don't know that you're always thinking we're going to be able to get to him. But the thing is, he's now starting to, run away from the rush and then throwing the deep ball. And so you don't want a guy to be able to have plenty of time to throw that deep ball, even if he's running around there. You really got to, it's another challenge. It's a different kind of a challenge, from Washington State. But this is a real challenge for that USC frontline, defense. And we'll be waiting to see how that works, because they want to really contain, but they know he's throwing the deep ball. So that's a challenge.
Yeah. As far as injuries go, Helton said it was pretty much status quo. Eric Kromenhoek did not practice today because he had a test at 5 p.m. And Jalen McKenzie was out due to a little bit of back tightness. But other than that, status quo for the Trojans.
Yeah, I mean, Chuma was in there at 5:45. He was still going strong, pass blocking. And you watch him and you just say, man, he's got such a skill set. I guess he had the best pass blocking grade last week. But it's good to see him out there at the end of practice, and I know the guys on the P will be very pleased that Chuma was there at the end of practice.
Yeah, and I would like to clarify, if you watched yesterday's instant analysis, I said he left. I just meant that he left the practice field. He still was there. He didn't walk off or anything like that. So just to clarify that. But Dan, I know you don't like predicting, especially when it comes to this team. What is your gut feel for how things are going to go on Saturday?
You would think both teams are going to score some points. You would like to see, USC be able to, handle Arizona's offense and maybe just give up a couple of touchdowns. But They didn't do it last year. They certainly didn't do it last week. One would think that, it's going to be one of those back and forth, scores. I mean, I think what would make things a whole lot easier for USC if A, they got a sack or two, or B, they got an intercept, they got a turnover, or they knocked the ball loose, and we haven't been seeing that. That can turn things around. If you could get some short fields and all that, and give JT a chance to, get some quick conversions and scores, I think that can change things. But if you're just going to let them, drive the ball and maintain kind of a ball control the way Washington State did, then you could be in for one of those last play, last possession, whatever. I don't think Arizona is as good as Washington State, but you're playing at Arizona, so we'll see. We'll see if this team grows up, if they start getting to that point where they start really asserting themselves. I'm not sure Arizona has the defense to shut down this USC team. I'd be surprised if they don't make any mistakes. That was the big really good thing that on Friday didn't turn it over, and if they can do that, they should win, but we'll see.
We'll see indeed. All right, that's going to wrap it up for Wednesday's practice. For Dan Weber, I'm Keely Eure. For more, check out uscfootball.com.